Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I tell you what, one of my favorites out there is Super Julie Braun. She's amazing, and her company, Super Interns, is amazing as well. Super Interns, you know, there's so many people I've talked to over the years who have been so unhappy with their intern programs. They haven't been effective. They haven't worked. And a lot of them have been a nightmare. And frankly, my efforts before I became familiar with superinterns.com have been a lot less than satisfying. Super Julie brings the best practices, frankly, practices I think most have never even thought of when it comes to developing intern programs, making me a huge fan. And also delighted to have her on as a regular contributor on the program, not only to bring wisdom on what one should expect from an intern program, but also some great people in business that I think the listener should know about. So with that, I'm delighted to bring on my friend Julie Braun, Super Julie Braun. And by the way, her website is superinterns.com. Want to add anything to that before you introduce your guest?
Sure. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, well, what we specialize in is helping businesses and interns have amazing experiences and growing. And so, anyway, thank you so much, Kevin. And you're doing a great job, by the way. Your interns absolutely love you.
Well,
so
thank
I'm going to
you.
go
We have
ahead
a
and
mutual appreciation society.
I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest today, Sae Koo, who is the CEO and founder of Tint. Tim, can you please tell us about your business and what it is that you specialize in?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for the kind intro. So as you mentioned, my name is Tint, CEO of Tint, and what we do is we work with brands and organizations to help them engage their audiences more through social media. So what that means is we work with brands to particularly aggregate, curate, and then display any social media feeds out there and allow them to display all that content, whether it be their own or what people are sharing about them, onto their websites, onto their mobile apps, onto TV screens inside restaurants or retail stores, to big projector walls at events. So if you've ever been to an event and you've seen like a tweet wall, or you share a photo on Instagram with a hashtag and it shows up on the wall, that's our solution. That's what we do.
And and it sounds interesting, and I've been to mega events lately where I've seen this kind of example. In fact, for the last couple of years, I've gone several years to Dreamforce.com in San Francisco, and I've seen these on the wall. And for the listener, what I encourage is to go to Tint, TINTUP.com, and click the examples link. Go right ahead, Julie.
Yeah, so Tim, can you tell us about your employees and where you're located and the sort of companies that you work with?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So we have about 14 employees today. We started about a year and a half ago in January of 2013. We're located in downtown San Francisco. So, Kevin, when you mentioned Dreamforce, we passed right by it. We're working right near it, and we've seen it all there as well. And the type of brands and customers we love to work with today include businesses that just understand or want that see the potential in social and want to untap it. So the whole main value add that we really provide to these brands, which could mean such clients as Krispy Kreme, we work with 3M, we work with Stanford University, we work with Ducati. These brands all see the potential in social and really want to engage their audiences on social. They use our platform to really help them maximize the value, maximize the reach, maximize the lifetime of all that social media content being talked about them, and allow them to display all that content on any marketing channel, any digital property that they own today.
Hey, so Tim, let me ask you then, what's the types of businesses that work with you? It looks like heavy emphasis on the entertainment arena, but it would also look like any business that's of significant size that wants to just convey their messages to a larger group. when that group is together. Talk a little bit. Give us a sense of who a good client is for your firm.
Yeah, so I'll give you a quick example. One of the most successful campaigns we did, which was with Travelocity. And so what they did was, obviously they're a big consumer brand. So a lot of our customers are consumer brands. And what Travelocity did was they had a hashtag #IWannaGo contest. And what that meant was if anybody used hashtag #IWannaGo, all their entries would be collected and aggregated through our system. They can moderate which ones they want to display, and then display that all on their website and a landing page. Now, all the entries come in. They will choose the winner of the best story of where someone wants to go. And that winner will win a $30,000 trip around the world. And they had over 28,000 entries come in through our system. That equated to about 100,000 page views of people just really wanting to see who's entering, what other people are saying, et cetera, et cetera. And according to their marketing team, this was one of the most successful marketing social campaigns they've done. So this just gives you a quick example of what we can do and the type of brands that we work with.
Julie Braun, by the way, she's at superinterns.com. Your question.
Yeah, so Tim, before you got to where you are now, you actually tried to do social media aggregation for individuals. What made you change and go to businesses instead?
Yeah, so like a classic story you hear a lot in technology, we did what we call a pivot. So we were working on a consumer side product, very similar technology to what it is today, but instead of working with businesses, it was with individuals, consumers like you and I. And we thought there was going to be a lot of value there. However, the learning curve and the value perception of the product just wasn't there. And so we weren't growing at a pace where we could see ourselves, monetizing or sustaining a business model. And with a really competitive landscape kind of coming in and taking over, we decided to pivot. And it was a very scary choice at that time because we had only worked on our product for about 3 months. And then our investors told us, hey, I think you should stick it out a little more. But we just had this gut feeling that we needed to shift this model and change it up to really see this potential and this growth that I had in my mind. So within 3 months of launching the consumer product, we pivoted and then started everything over, started the whole product over. We had our whole team move up from Los Angeles to San Francisco. We kind of have a new start. And was it a good decision? Absolutely. Hindsight is 20/20, but at that time it was really scary, and I just went with that gut feeling, saying that there was some potential here that I wasn't tapping into. Maybe change up the business model, listen to our customers a little more, ask them direct questions, and go off from that feedback.
I've got to wrap it up. Tim, thanks so much for giving us the Tint Up story. The Tint Story, by the way. TINT is the name of the company. But you find them at tintup.com. What a great story. Thanks for sharing with us today. And, of course, Super Julie Braun can be found at superinterns.com. Julie, your final thought before I let you go.
I just think, Tim, what you've created is phenomenal in a year and a half. And being that you're 23 years old, you're an inspiration to a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
wow,
much.
That's just scary. Yeah, that's true when you put it in that context. Thanks to both of you. When we come back, already the final segment for The Price of Business today. More for you, though, right after this.